So this is what I use to scrape data of my competitors and get emails that very few people can get their hands on. Everyone talks about Apollo, ZoomInfo, all these big data providers that want to suck you dry of all of your money. But between me and you, there's some black hat tools that I found that you can use and I'm gonna share with you in this video. You can pull hundreds of thousands of leads within 24 to 72 hours, no problem. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Koldinfo, I'm 26, I live in New York City, and I'm co-founder of Inframail. And we send tens of millions of cold emails across many of our clients, some that you've probably heard of like seamless.ai, aftership.com, conversion.ai, ocean.io, air.ai, and a ton more. We work with a couple thousand businesses and B2B companies at this point. Now, I use Apollo, but they're just extremely expensive, and I send 10 to 20,000 emails a day, for example, for Inframail, and it just makes it extremely difficult to pay these data providers hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially when their pricing plans is like 4,000 exports for like 99 bucks a month. I need like 10 to 15,000 exports every single day. Now, in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 platforms that are sneaky, affordable, and a little black hatty kind of sort of, but it's perfect for cold email if you're on a budget, and you can actually get emails that people rarely cold email, so you'll get a lot better reply rates. Using one of the databases, by the way, that I mentioned in this video, I literally got 18.3% reply rates at one point, and it was literally insane. And by the way, there was no personalization or anything like that. It was purely because I got the data from where people usually don't get data from. And by the way, right now with Apollo scrapers being down, I don't know when you're watching this video, it's actually a perfect time to use one of these tools or all of them. So the 5 tools that we're gonna go over, we're gonna do it one by one, but number 1, I wanna jump right into Koldinfo. Now moving on, we're gonna go into number 2, and number 2 is actually one of my favorites. It's a really, really good one for unique data, and it's a Twitter profile scraper. It's called tweetscraper.io. Shout out to Marco, he's a great friend of ours and client. So yeah, he's really, really cool, and he built a really great platform so you can actually scrape a bunch of Twitter leads. Number 3, we're gonna go over igleads. Now you can scrape Twitter with this tool, but I recommend using TweetScraper for that because it's dedicated for that and it works better. But igleads lets you scrape Instagram and Instagram followers and following. Number 4, we're gonna go over Apify, which is a huge marketplace of scrapers. So you can basically scrape anything on the internet that you want. Number 5, we're gonna go into Followingg.go, which is my personal favorite. It's more of a service, but you can scrape your competitors' profiles. For example, if you're building an instantly.ai competitor, I don't know about you, but myself, I wouldn't want to reach people that have never used Instantly. I want to take basically Instantly people or smartlead people and have them use my direct, competitive tool. So with Followingg.go, you can actually scrape company page followers from LinkedIn. And I'll show you how to do that. By the way, if you want more videos like this, leave a like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Comment below what you want to see next. I hope this video was massively, massively helpful. A lot of people asked me about data and stuff like that, so I hope it answered a lot of your questions. Nonetheless, I'll see you on the flip side. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. So number 1 is Koldinfo. Koldinfo is by far one of the coolest platforms. It has very old data, 4 to 5 years old. The pricing is very, very good. As you can see right here, 79 bucks, 97, 197, 297 for unlimited credits. And there is some cons to using it. Like I said, the data is old, but if you're looking for data at scale, it's a really, really good way to get data, because either way, you still have to scrape this data and then validate it anyway. But if you're looking for 50, 100,000, 500,000 leads, it's a really good platform because there's like hundreds of millions of records in here. As you can see, for the business email database, there's 57 million records. People database, there's 129 million. USA job database, 31 million. World job database, 47 million. And then the USA local biz database is almost 5 million. So pretty cool there. And another con is that, you're not going to get like the most polished product. So this is made by a friend of mine right now, and this is like a side project for him, right? But it still contains a lot of data and millions and tens of millions, hundreds of millions of data that we can use, right? And there's still a lot of people on the platform, right, that use this product. But either way, another big person that uses it is Karsten Fox. He uses it for a ton of different stuff. But let's just go to business email database. As you can see, if I'm looking for like a construction company, there's like a bunch of different filters I can use, like company name, person, title, owner, president, founder, co-founder. And another thing is you can only export about 30,000 leads at once, which kind of sucks. This is for USA job database, not the people one. So by industry, financial services, there's also education management, real estate, construction, retail, marketing, advertising. Not all of them will have data, but again, all of these are available, and you can also choose different industries. So if I put industry here, right, there's many different types of industries. Industry 2, company industry. Again, it's not a polished product, so you might need to sift through these to find the data that's within one of these little pockets here, whether it's company, industry, or industry 2. And then here I have the job title, owner, business owner, co-owner, owner, operator, president, partner, whatever. Apply. good to go. I have this and I have 168,000 records in here. I could just export, boom, just like this, 30,000 records, start export, and then it's going to start my export. It's pretty easy. You have the emails here. You want to still put it through a verifier of your choice, whether it's Reune, Million Verifier, Zero Bounce, whatever you want. You're still going to want to use those, but it's a good way to get 50, 100, 150, 200, 500,000 leads at once for a very affordable rate. I mean, look at this. I mean, what are you going to get? $297 a month for unlimited credits. It's insane, okay? Number two, we're going to go into one of my favorites, tweetscraper.io is by a good friend of mine, Marco, and also a client of ours that uses Inframail that crushes with Inframail. So this guy has built a really awesome platform. Marco does a really good job with building products, and you can actually scrape people's followers on Twitter using this product. Now, it doesn't work for any niche, but if you're clever, I've gotten up to 18% reply rates using this. So if you have a certain, leader in your space, for example, if you're in real estate and you're looking for people that want to invest in real estate, guess who they're probably going to follow? Grant Cardone. So if you want to scrape Grant Cardone's followers, you're going to go to x.com and then you're going to just search up Grant Cardone. And I'm sure a lot of rich people follow Grant Cardone. He has a pretty badass profile. He's a badass guy, 1.2 million followers, whatever, right? So here I could put Grant Cardone, tweet scraper, scrape followers, and then I have a Grant Cardone, and then I can look for keywords. So for example, if I'm looking for a rich investor, I don't want someone that's like, from a random country, or, I want someone that says like investor, real estate investor, or something that's not spam, right? So for example, I want to put investor, business owner, founder, angel, investor, something along those lines. And then I could scrape the followers based on those keywords that they put in their bio, right? And then you can also scrape only the business email as well. You could literally scrape 1 million of Grant Cardone's followers straight up, which is freaking insane. It's like a hack, it feels like. And again, another good niche is if you're in crypto or you're in gambling, which I don't recommend gambling of any sorts, but crypto or whatever, you can search up crypto influencers. There's a crypto Twitter X or whatever. So you can see this guy, for example, Il Capo of crypto or whatever. You could just put his name there just like that. You can scrape his followers. You could put, crypto, Web3, whatever, NFTs, whatever person that you're looking for that they should have this keyword in their bio, right? I'm a founder or a CEO or whatever, so I'll put that in my bio on Twitter so people will know, or I'll do like, cold email, something that's very niche or whatever. And then I just put scrape followers, and then I'm good to go. So I'm not going to use this for now, but I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. But as you can see, I've scraped a ton of leads from his product. I mean, I've done a lot of work on his product. I've used it for a long time, and I've gotten up to 18% reply rate, so it's really, really good. He also has other products. I recommend trying out scraping Instagram as well, because you could scrape also Instagram followers. So for example, here, Instagram followers, I could look up, like Kim Kardashian, for example. Okay, Kim Kardashian is crazy. But, just someone else, like, I don't know, whoever I want to target, let's just say Grant Cardone, right? And I look up his Instagram, and I can see he has 5 million followers. So I could scrape a portion of his followers, right? And I literally just put his profile here, boom, just like that, and then boom, and then email limit. I could start to search out, let's say 20,000 whatever people, right? And then I can put scrape followers, right? Just like that. And then just like that, I'm scraping Grant Cardone's followers. Super cool, super simple, really awesome, really great product. And yeah, you can scrape the followers, the following, you can scrape comments, which again, this is not live yet, but it's coming soon. But yeah, you can scrape a lot of different stuff. Now going on to the third, which is IG leads. Now IG leads is a little bit different. It's similar. You could scrape Instagram, but you can actually scrape what people that have certain posts with certain hashtags, which is what I really like about it. So for example, if I'm creating a dating app and I want to scrape, a bunch of people that have put like hashtag dating or hashtag New York City dating, or I want to create a niche product, right? Or a productivity app. I could put people that put hashtag productivity, right? I could scrape all of those people, right, that post and that have their information publicly available, like their profile and their email or whatever, right? All the publicly available stuff, and get a list of all those people that I can reach out to personally. Now, this is a really cool product. IG Leads has been around for some time, and as you can see here, with the pricing is also really, really affordable. $149 a month for 50,000 emails monthly, and then $299 a month for unlimited emails monthly. Also, another thing, actually, with Tweet Scraper, let me actually go through the subscription for you. So, you have the $99 a month for 5,000 credits, $249 for 20,000, $549, 200,000, $999, 500,000. So depending on the scale that you're at, it's a pretty good plan. If you want to start with something like $249 or $99, it's pretty good. But either way, really good product. IG Leads, same gist, but you're not scraping followers. You're basically scraping, just posts of like people that have certain hashtags or whatever. So you can also use other scrapers, like you could scrape YouTube and TikTok and LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook. And this is where you have to be creative, because a lot of people say, hey, where do I get data from? Who do I use? What can I use? Whatever. you have to get creative on where your customers are. I can't tell you where your customers are. You're probably not going to find a bunch of gambling, company owners on Apollo. Maybe you might find a portion, but a lot of them also are going to be on Twitter or in crypto communities or different things like that, right? Or on some Instagram page where they follow some like type of gambling company or whatever, right? So, or a crypto company. So you have to be creative on, where your audience's eyes are at. That's the main thing about being clever and looking for data, okay? So moving on to number 4, we're gonna check out Apify. Now, Apify is basically a conglomerate of all of the scrapers that we just talked about. Twitter scrapers, Instagram scrapers, basically anything, just Google Map scrapers, right? Why I like Apify is that a bunch of developers, it's like an open source community of developers that come on and paste their own or build their own scrapers and just have them publicly available for X amount of money. Now, Instagram, for example, let's say you want to scrape and download Instagram posts, profiles, places, hashtags, photos, whatever. This guy, for example, you can try it for free, which is similar to igleads, but he's building his own. So you're supporting small independent builders, indie hackers or whatever. So that's pretty cool. But you have a whole list of open source scrapers that you can just use, right? Which is really awesome. And you can see right here, these little Instagram scrapers, they're, all these scrapers are called actors, right? And you can see it's $2.70 per 1,000 results. So for example, if you want like 100,000 results, you probably get a little bit of a discount, but it would be about $270, right? Which is not bad for 100,000 people that you're reaching out to. So you can have all those, and you can, be creative with the hashtags that you search. Try to go on your Instagram on your phone, right, and just look up a hashtag and see who's posting and whatever. So for example, if I'm looking for, let's say, club owners, right, I could go and scrape, people, because I know clubs post a lot of pictures with like girls and people or groups or DJs that are performing or whatever. So I can go and just type in club promo or club or whatever. I could see what hashtags usually these club promoters use and go from there, and then use an Apify scraper to scrape their information, right? And then reach out to them. This is super cool stuff. Again, you want to use things like this that a lot of people are not using. That's how you're going to get the best results, okay? Number 5 is a personal favorite of mine, okay? It's called Followingg.co. Now, Followingg.co, it looks like some dystopian website or whatever. I just made an order from them recently, but it was a pretty big order of about almost 300,000 leads. And essentially what you could do is you can actually scrape the company page followers on LinkedIn. So now, this is the use case for something like this, right? So for Followingg.co, let's say you're building a company, right? Or you have a company, and it's a direct competitor of another company. Let's say you're building a direct competitor to Clay, right? Clay's a pretty badass platform. It's very hard to be a solo developer and build that, right? Nearly impossible. But let's say you're building a competitor with your own team. You want to not like educate new people on how to use Clay, but preferably take Clay users to move to your platform. So how do you do that? Well, now I have my LinkedIn here. So for example, I'm going to search up clay.com, right? And then I'm going to look up companies, okay? And then I could see Clay has 123,000 followers. So I want Clay's information. I want to know who these 123 followers are. So now I go to Followingg.co, which is a badass platform, okay? I'm going to buy some credits, okay? And I could purchase a package or whatever, right? It's super easy. But basically, you're just going to give them the company page, that you want to scrape. And then they simply just scrape it for you. It's really easy. So you can see right here, 500,000 credits, $1,400, a million credits, $2,600. Very, very affordable, in my opinion, for the amount of leads. But essentially, I don't even know how many credits I have. But you can see LinkedIn followers. I have 20,000 credits available actually. So boom, URL, right? And then I want to scrape, I don't know, however many leads or whatever, depends. But you can see LinkedIn followers, URLs, and lead counts. And then I could just put who I want. So let me see all company followers. Let me see if I could paste it again. So I put calculate cost, and it shows me there's 122,000, almost 123,000 followers. It's $429, okay? And so I can apply my credits and also pay for it, and then they just deliver my order in 24 to 72 hours. It's a really, really awesome platform. So again, one more example. If you're looking to build an instantly.ai competitor and you want to scrape Instantly's followers, they have 48,000 followers. So you want to know who these 48,000 people are. You don't want to take someone that doesn't know nothing about cold email and, teach them and, all that stuff. It's annoying, right? You want someone that uses a product already, that knows why you've built a different version of that product and has an incentive to move to you, right? So right here, Instantly's followers, almost 48,000 followers, $167. It's a steal. So you still need to put these emails through a verifier. Again, with any of these platforms that you use, you need to put them through a verifier. but this is just a little taste of what you can use with these 5 scraping tools. We got Koldinfo, tweetscraper.io, igleads, Apify, which is the marketplace for scrapers, independent scrapers, and number 5 is Followingg.go with 2 G's. So I'll leave links in the description for all of these, and also if you want to sign up for Inframail to get unlimited cold email inboxes at one flat rate. So if you hate paying per inbox and you just don't want to pay $3 or $5 for every single inbox that you're using with Google, let's say if you have 1,000 inboxes, that's going to be like $3,000 a month. So with us, you can do that on a $249 a month plan. All disclaimer though, we're going to have a price increase next year, probably in Q1, because we're going to add a lot more stuff like pre-warmed IPs and a bunch of cool stuff like that, which I can't even talk too much about. One of them, I'll just give you a taste, is pre-warmed IPs, but I definitely recommend checking it out. You could book a demo with me below, 15-minute demo, and I could show you how this can help you and walk you through the process, and also offer you 10 free domains if you book a demo in and you sign up. So I hope this video helped, and like, subscribe, share with a friend. Peace out.